named BB. Shout out to BB. He's the one that keep on coming to me over and over and said, you should get the CDL. I think you should try trucking. I think you should do that because it's a good industry for a young guy like you. You can, get a lot out of it as far as you can have a business, you can get a house, your family can be taken care of, and all that stuff.
I think I mean, that's sums it up, doesn't it? Like, it's such a good.
Yeah. So people would just see me driving box truck and be like, "Hey, do you have a CDL?" And I said, "No, it's a regular license." And they'd be like, "I think you should get the CDL because I think it will, you'll be good in it." They just see me and just assume that I'm a good truck driver. Many people see me driving box truck and be like, "I thought you already have your CDL," you know.
Yeah.
So that give me a lot of confidence to just go to school. And I'm from Jamaica, so this is all new to me.
And I think that's amazing. This is a great opportunity for anybody. I
Yeah.
totally support that. So when you decided to do trucking, so what was the first thing that you did? Like, how did you kind of, you know, try to figure out where you wanted to start? Like, where did you find your school, and like, what did you do to get your CDL?
Well, my school is in Newport News, Shippers Choice, um, Newport News, Virginia. So I went to a lot of school, but that school really stick out to me more because you know they 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 work with you off the back. They tell you what it is. They tell you the steps, and it's not you're not gonna go through a bunch of stuff. You're just gonna follow their steps. They tell you what it is, what you're gonna drive, and all that good stuff. So it was really easy for me to get into Shipper's Choice, even though it was kind of rough around the edges because,
Mhm.
um, you know, some of the instructors, they won't like babysit you through everything. Like a lot of stuff you got to learn on your own. So by you being in the school, you know, they show you say, okay, this is A to B, and then you got to help yourself with the rest. And then by doing that, then everything start to connect down the line. So it's like it's a at first I never really like it, but when I look back, it really made me strong. It really gave me
Mhm.
confidence. It really made me want to go out there with no fear, with no nervousness, and all that stuff.
I agree. I almost like I always felt bad doing this because I know that we do have a lot of people in the military, a lot of like army people, military people all over the world, and I did not want to offend anybody by saying it feels kind of like boot camp, going through the training. But they kind of change you. They break you down a little bit. They change you as a person, and they
Yeah.
prepare you for what you're in for. Which what I'm actually super stoked about is that you haven't been out there yet. This is going to be your first
Oh
time
no, I
tomorrow.
haven't been. Tomorrow morning.
It's got to be so exciting and scary, and just like the feelings have got to be like butterflies, like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, to me, when I think about it, it's really a confident thing for me because it's something new and something I want to do. It's not like say, hey, I'm gonna try this out and I'm gonna see how it
Hmm.
goes. Something I want to do. So I go up on YouTube and I watch other truckers. Like or I find you. By
Hmm.
you being a driver and educate me as a young driver, want to be a driver. I watch videos and all the parallel parking and all they do this and all they do that. So every time I watch those videos, it like it refresh my mind, over again.
Hmm.
Like.
I went through the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's so exciting, and I just can't wait like to check in again and see how you're doing and all the things like expectations versus reality. So when you went through trucking school, was it through a company or did you have to pay for that?
I gotta pay for it.
Okay,
Yeah, I
that's
got a
pretty big.
loan. I got a loan, and you pay back every month. You know, um, like a lot of people thinking that for them to start trucking school, they got to get like half the money or majority of the money. With my school, you just put down $500 and you start.
That's
People,
awesome.
some people got to save up,
Mm-hmm.
and they be like, okay, I got to get like 35 to start, and like some school, you got to at least put down 2,000 to
Mm-hmm.
start. With my school, it's just $500 down, and the rest you pay the rest every month.
That's
And then
awesome.
with my company, because the company that I'm going to work for is Knights, and they're willing to pay for your tuition.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's great. So how old are you?
37.
37. That's
Yeah,
awesome. So as a driver, like just starting out, like kind of what do you picture tomorrow is going to be like for you?
I think tomorrow going to be a breathtaking, but I won't be nervous. I know he would drive first, and he would tell me, the ins and out, and I'm gonna follow through with him, and probably drive for like about an hour or two, and then let me drive. He's not gonna just say, "Hey, your time to drive." You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna go through the process with me and talk to me and say, "Hey, this is the clock," and you know, 14 hours of drive time. I mean, 11 hours of drive time. You got the old 14 hours. To all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and the 30-minute break. So you're gonna go through with me the clock and the GPS, and make sure that I look every what again? I think it's every like 6 to 8 seconds to my mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
Basic stuff, and
Yeah.
just to see where I'm at before he put me around the wheels.
Yep. I think that's a good idea. So when I went through trucking, you saw my whole process on YouTube,
Yeah,
and I went through Prime, and my training involved going over the road a couple days at a time to kind of get some experience. And this is going to be interesting for you because now you're going to start as a team driver. You're going to be doing training with your trainer, but you'll be like just kind of like going out there, and it's going to
yeah.
be different.
I
Um,
mean, for, my wife, to her, she understand, but it's just the the nervousness that I'm not there, and
hmm
so,
It's
you know,
hard.
yeah, she's gonna thinking that like what's gonna happen to you, and
hmm
call me every second, call me every day, call me, because it's something new for me, for her, me not being there,
hmm
but we always been around each other, you know.
Yep.
So it's like for me taking this step, I tell her just look at it as a military thing. I'm gonna
hmm
be out, then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna be
That's how
out,
it
come
feels.
back.
It
Yeah,
really does feel
yeah,
that way. And it's
yeah,
I don't mean any disrespect to any military people out there, but it feels very it is a dangerous job, it's huge, it's a huge risk every time you go out there, but there's such a reward, and it changes your, like right here. I'm not sure if I can show this. Yeah. Robert Kaufman, he said it's a whole new lifestyle. It really is. It really is. And it's hard to explain to someone until they've lived it. You can watch the YouTube
yeah,
videos and get like an idea, but it's gonna be different, and I'm sure there'll be hard times, but there will be good times. And when you see each other, it's gonna be so amazing. You're gonna be so happy to see each other, and it's gonna be great. Honestly,
Mhm.
this is
You know,
cool.
like I said before, I'm from Jamaica, so this is all new to me. I'm the first person in my family to really do trucking.
Yeah.
So my son. My son is 2 years old, and he like trucks. He like trucks. He like cars. He like
hmm
anything got wheels on it. He love it. So
And when he
everybody
gets older, you could bring him out.
come again.
When he gets older, you can bring him with you sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like you're gonna do that because since he was crawling, he just loved trucks. So
that's
everybody
awesome.
told me that that's been in you. Driving always been in you. It's in your DNA. So your son
hmm
have it, and that's a good thing. So
Yeah.
you can just pass on that legacy.
And once you get out there, there's a thing that happens. They say that the diesel gets in your blood.
Yeah, yeah,
So once you're out there,
exactly. Never
yep,
leave, never
Yeah,
leave.
it becomes part of you. So have you had a chance to talk to your trainer at all? Like, kind of.
Yes. I talked to him 2 weeks ago. He told me what to bring: pillows, clothes, shoes, um, you know, little snacks. Cause
Mm-hmm.
he said to me that don't try to always stop when it's like break time or
Mm-hmm.
lunchtime. Cause when you eat a lot of heavy food, that bring a lot of fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
He said
It's
like
true, especially if you're a new driver.
granola bars, um, peanuts, all those stuff. So he
Mm-hmm.
said when he said the best time to really have something strong in the stomach is when you finish for
Mm-hmm.
that day.
Yeah, I
You
never
know,
really thought of that, but that's true. It is true
yeah,
because you do get really tired if you eat a big heavy meal.
a lot of accident, is from fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
Tiredness, and when you eat, that bring on tiredness on you.
Yeah.
Like McDonald's, fast food restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You definitely, another thing that I could recommend that I learned, there was a guy I used to listen to on the trucking channel on Sirius XM because I had the satellite radio in
Yeah,
my truck. Um, he's not on there anymore, but he taught me so much about health because it's so important when you're on the road because if you don't have your health, you have nothing. You're going to
right,
feel like
right.
crap, you're going to be tired, you won't be able to run. So my suggestion, and I'm not a doctor, but try to have as little sugar as possible, eat as much protein as you can, and try to keep your carbs down. Like, you can have veggies and stuff like that, but as much as you can, like, don't eat more carbs than you do protein. You got to keep your protein up and your
Yeah.
carbs lower than that, and try not to eat bread products because that's what's really going to make you unhealthy. um, we could go through a whole health lecture another time, but I don't want to waste time on that right now. But
Because I get a lot of healthy stuff, like the granola bars. I get
mhm.
the protein ones. Those are the best ones.
Yeah, the granola bars do have sugar and grains in them,
Yeah.
but it's good still. It's better than eating a freaking like Big Mac or something.
Right, right,
But
right, right, right.
but keep in mind, we could talk later, but I've learned so much. My husband was getting arthritis and he was getting I was feeding him really bad stuff. And he got, like, when we first got together, he gained like 30 pounds probably. It was bad.
Mhm.
And then we cut out all the sugar and the grains. Oh yeah, Cinnabon. Robert Kaufman understands. I actually used to pride myself in the fact that you go into those truck stops, you can smell it instantly. It smells so good, and to be able to walk into a truck stop and not leave with Cinnabon, um, you're like God after that. Like, it's crazy. You're like the master of your own universe. Like, so no Cinnabon because that will kill you. So, but try to like,
And the next thing too, make sure you have a lot of water because
oh, water is
you know, I,
important.
I went to my school today to talk to some of my instructors. Before I leave before I leave to go on the road. So I said, hey, you know, tomorrow is my day. So do you have anything to really tell me or to let me know or any encouragement to give me, so I can survive out there mentally. And he said, get out of water, um, you know, listen to your trainer, you know, grasp everything that he telling you
Mm-hmm.
and just, just try to get it into your subconscious because, after that month is up, it's gonna be you out there. You
Yeah,
know,
it's crazy.
you gotta really so it's something that I gotta really learn from him. A lot of stuff I can take in, and never afraid to ask questions. No matter how you think it's gonna be or it's gonna sound, always ask questions.
So
Yeah,
exciting. I'm so excited for you.
yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be a good change, because I know a lot of drivers, you know, um, they're so excited to really go there and to really experience it, But it to me it's not a rush because when I first finished school, I wasn't rushing to get into a company. I take
Mm-hmm.
my time and I just regroup myself, think it over, see where I want to start at. I said, okay, I'm gonna just start here, then I'm gonna start there.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-plan my life. I want to do it.
You're gonna have to learn how to pre-plan a lot.
a
in
lot.
trucking.
Yeah. So I don't want to bounce from this company, that company, that, I want to
Yeah.
take time. So if I'm gonna be here for 6 months or two here, I'm gonna stay there. Then I'm gonna go here 2 years, then I'm gonna go there. Because
Hmm.
I want to have a good name out there. So when
Oh
somebody,
yeah.
they'll be
Are
like,
you?
oh, I see you stay here for 1 year, you stay here for 2 years. That's gonna be look good on my record.
Do
You
you
know,
have a YouTube channel right now?
come again.
Do you have a YouTube channel right now?
I was thinking about making one, but I'm gonna need a little help.
Yeah, I'll help you. Well, as soon as you make one, let me know and we'll make a video and we'll promote it so everybody knows where to find you and they can follow your journey. I think that would be really
Okay,
nice.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because I was telling my wife that I'm gonna get a GoPro, and I know it to be good. I got a lot of friends um that's into truck driving, especially from Jamaica.
Hmm.
And they share a lot of thoughts on what they got to do, to keep going. They tell me, hey, stick in there. Sometimes you just feel like you just I would never get this. Like the hardest part in my school is where a lot of students fail is in the parallel parking. The parallel parking is really hard. Because I learned in a um in a manual. It wasn't automatic in a manual. And it was hard, but after a while I get the concept of it. It's become easy. You know, So I mean, if anybody out there is gonna drive in a manual, or you got problem with offset or parallel parking, just take your time.
Hmm.
No rush.
I have a funny story, but I probably shouldn't say it on YouTube. But I manual's fun. I will just say that I don't have a manual restriction, but I would need to. I would not feel confident driving one alone. Let's just say that. But somehow I managed to not have the restriction on my license, which is great. But
Actually, it's fun. It can keep you
yeah,
up at night.
yeah.
'Cause,
And it's imagine being sleeping in the bunk and someone's driving manual. I don't know. Like back in the day, the truckers they didn't even have AC, and they would drive teams in these tiny little cabs, and they would sleep on the floor in the back, like their bunks were like just the bed. It's just crazy to think about, like how far we've come and like how nice the trucks
uh,
are compared to them.
yeah. I mean, when I don't mean to say this, in a crazy way, but remember I said I don't know nothing about trucking. So I thought that because in my truck at school, in the truck at school that I was training in, I thought that was the truck that gonna be out there for us in a company. But my first company that I checked into, it was Steven Transport, and they'd be like, "Oh no, we got like 2020 trucks,
Hmm.
we got like 2021." So
They're
I'd be like,
nice.
so when I go on YouTube and I look up the inside, I'd be like, "Yo, this nice." This really comfortable. Like it made me want to just get in there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It it's a lot to it. Because you being you want to do this, it makes you even more confident. You have your own truck.
Hmm.
It's nice. It's like all that good
It's your
stuff.
own little space.
Yeah,
It's like a little
it is,
clubhouse, but it's yours.
like for men's out there, I say, men's cave on wheel. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I wanted to make a point here that my friend Kiana here, she has a YouTube channel, but
Okay.
once you're done training, you can still hit up your trainer and ask questions. If you have that kind of relationship with him, definitely do that. Never like be afraid. You could always reach out to me or anybody else that you meet in this journey. Always ask questions even after you're done training. I think that was a really good point. So, but so yeah, so when you go out there, you're going to be getting on the road. Do you know, like, are they going coast to coast, or are they just covering like a regional area, or do you know yet?
He told me that anywhere the load is, that is where it's going. But he told me probably. He told me Pennsylvania, Georgia, Ohio, New Jersey, Florida. Basically, like the more on the east.
Mm-hmm. That's good though. Since you live out here, that means you can get home more often.
Yeah,
Because when I
yeah.
went out there, I went
And,
out
and,
west and I was all over the place.
and
So it
not
was
only
good.
that, my terminal is 5 hours away from me,
Nice.
so that's
That's
good.
awesome.
You know, I would try to get it to Stevenson Transport, but they all the way in um, Texas.
Yeah. You can still
So
get home though, even if you decide later you want to go somewhere else. Um, you got to check with the company, but most of the companies will let you come home. I was a lease operator at Prime. I could go wherever I wanted, but it would make me
okay,
broke. That was my
okay. So
problem.
that means that they're gonna send you a load close to
Hmm.
home all the time.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
And some of the companies have like a rule about how often you can go home or whatever. But they'll like if there's like an emergency or something really urgent, they'll work with you.
right,
Um,
right. And next thing too, I want to say, you know about it, but as for the new drivers that out there that's listening, like me, um, he told me to go to all the fuel stops and get like the fuel card, like Loves and all them other places,
mhm.
and every time you buy something or every time you get diesel, you get a points on it to like use the restroom or take a shower or whatever, you know. So I didn't know that. You see, like stuff like that, people had to tell me before I go there because I wouldn't even know about that. I
There's
would
so much stuff you don't know yet, and you're
yeah, or I'm gonna get this, or I'm gonna get that, but the fuel card, it come handy. That little gift card right there,
yep,
it come handy, yeah.
absolutely. I was in my car and I went to Pilot and I went to go fill up
Valid.
and
Yeah,
get some
that's good.
gas in my car and I'm like, do I still have my rewards card? Because I wanted to get the points because I remember like I used to get all sorts of free stuff because when you fuel up in a truck, you're getting hundreds and hundreds of gallons and it adds up and each like $10 you spend, you get or $100 you spend, and then you end up like getting free stuff. You get like free parking,
Yeah,
free meals,
yeah,
free
yeah.
sodas, like all sorts of stuff. It's
See, I
great.
didn't know that. You
Free
know,
showers,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I want to warn you, shower shoes. Do
Oh
not
yeah, I'm
go.
going to say that a while ago. I'm going to say that a while ago. You just be my mind. Yeah, he told me to get shower shoes. He said never go in there barefoot.
That was on my channel. You learned that, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yep, yep.
yeah.
Someone told me that because I'm crazy. As soon as I knew I was trucking, um, oh, see, Frankie says stay away from the East Coast if you're new to trucking. Well, honestly, Frankie, in my opinion, if he's going to start in the East Coast, he's going to be a master trucker. It doesn't matter. The East Coast is harder to drive than the West Coast, but if you stayed with the easiest thing, then you would never learn. If you start when it's hard, you're going to be a freaking expert. You can go anywhere and it'll be like a piece of cake. And I think it's great that you're starting on the East Coast with a trainer. If
Yeah,
you're going to have to
yeah,
do the East Coast at some point. So in my opinion, do all the East Coast that you can while you have someone with you. Um, once
definitely.
you're on your own, ask your dispatcher if he can send you out west because it's a new experience. It's amazing. I prefer out west, but if I was learning, I would say spend as much time on the East Coast as you can while you have someone with you because it'll make you the best driver that you'll ever be. It's
Right,
like
right.
it's like learning on expert mode.
And the
So
next thing, my um one of my tr- um instructor at school told me, she told me that whenever you're driving and you feel tired, just pull over. Don't try to
mhm.
force it. Once you feel that the heart getting heavy, the fatigue kicking in, just pull over. Even if the instructor say, "Hey, you got about like 200 more miles left or whatever miles left," she said that don't force it, just pull over.
Tell them to
So
fight you.
yeah, so like stuff like that, I'm trying to break myself in. So if I feel like I need to pull over, I'm gonna pull over. I'm not gonna force it. I'm not gonna try to say, okay, I can do another hour because I need to get there on time. And like I don't have to prove to him that I can do it even though I feel a little bit tired. I'm gonna
Yep.
pull over
No.
for that.
Not worth it if you're dead. So
You see, or hurt somebody or something like that, kill somebody.
Yeah, no, and it's not worth it if you kill somebody. That nobody wants to live with that. That was one of the scariest things. Like I'll say, when I was trucking, was people around you don't realize how dangerous you are, and they put way too much faith in you.
Right, right.
Um, yeah, Robert Kaufman said this. That if you're going to do that, see, luckily as a lease operator, I was able to say no. I went through that a couple times with my trainer, and I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. So when you go through, those East Coast seaboard cities, it's insane. But if you're going to do that, definitely try to get it out of the way while you have a trainer.
Well, and next thing, the reason why I choose nights, I don't know if anybody know nights
Oh,
transportation.
everybody knows what night is.
Okay, I mean, to me, it's a good company. I don't have anything bad to say about them. They got good benefits. They take care of you. You take care of them, they take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're nice company. They give me a warm welcome. So shout out to Nights Transport.
Yeah, thanks, Night. And I want to give a shout out to Prime. I did leave Prime, but I still thought my time there. I look back on it fondly. They took care of me. They got me through my training.
Yeah.
They paid for it all. Well, I paid for it at the end of the day because it came out of my check monthly, weekly, whatever. But it was
So
good.
so how long was you working for Prime for?
2 years.
2 years. Okay.
hmm It was awesome. I loved it. I would just recommend that maybe in this day and age with the way gas prices are. I don't know. Some of you guys in the comments might be able to interject because I'm not out there right now. I don't know. Uh, I had a hard time making money with lease, and that wasn't like I have to take some responsibility for that because I didn't want to go to certain spots. I know that my dispatcher, if he's listening, fuck you. Sorry. I know that I know that my dispatcher, I can't monetize this video now. I know that my dispatcher, he hated me. I'm pretty sure because he didn't get along with a lot of the people. Like I have other friends that were dispatched under him, and ironically, I went by their recommendation, and they were like, "Sorry, we didn't realize he sucked so bad." Some people liked him, some people didn't, but he just like I don't know. He's just like he just wasn't cooperative. Let's just say that. He wasn't good at communicating. He would get frustrated, he would get mad, and then I was immature and I think I could have made more money if I just did what he said. But I'm
Yeah.
a person of principle, and if you're going to disrespect me, I'm going to show you that I'm in charge. So he would say, I don't know, he would do things that would piss me off. And then I would say, well, I want to go home, in 2 weeks. And then I'd be running around doing what he says for like 2 weeks, and things would be happening. And then he would say that I'm going to do something. I would just say no because I knew I could because I was a lease operator. And then, he'd get mad because he's losing money if I'm not making money. Right.
Yeah.
So I'd just basically park my truck and not move until he basically did what I wanted. But that cost me money too because then I'm not making money. So
Can I ask you a question?
sure.
Does the dispatcher is the driver manager?
Well, okay. So at Prime, they teach you, I don't know how true it is, but they teach you that you guys are a team and you're running a business together as
Okay.
long as you're like lease. If your company, which I was alluding to the fact that I would rather be company right now because you don't have to pay for gas, that you don't have to worry about all the expenses. Like they kind of, but you have to go where they say. You don't have as much like, you can't be like I was and say, no, I don't like, I would have times where like it was windy out and I knew it was too windy and he would argue with me and tell me that it wasn't too windy. I'm like, but you're in Salt Lake City. I'm in California right now in the desert. Like, how do you know that it's not windy here? You know what I mean? I saw a truck blown over on the side of the road and I parked. I'm like, I don't want to
Oh
drive
yeah.
today.
You
I'm
saw that?
empty. Yeah, and I don't have to. But he would argue with me and tell me, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's not that bad." And I'm like, "I'm a rookie." He's like, "You've been driving for 11 months. You're not a rookie." I'm like, "Yes, I am. I don't feel comfortable." And he would kind of like try to push me into doing things I didn't want to do. And then he would punish me, by giving me crap loads for the next week after that. So as a lease operator, I was given the illusion that I was in charge, but at the end of the day, they still have way too much power, depending on the company. I think sometimes they give you a load board where you can kind of choose,
Yeah.
but I didn't have much of a choice. It was like, here's your load. I don't want it. So then I have to sit for 3 or 4 hours and wait for another one. As a company driver, you kind of just got to go. Like if they give you a load, you just go. If you can kind of get yourself in that mindset, you'll probably make more money being a company driver right now. In my mind, if someone can tell me I'm wrong in the comments, go for it.
Well, well, to me, like my wife been telling me other people like get in and get your own truck, but probably getting your own truck is not for you.
Well,
Or I don't know yet. To
you're
me,
not going to
go
know.
with a company and just see how it goes and say, okay, I'm gonna try to buy a second-hand truck, see how it goes. If not, I'm gonna sell it back.
I'm
'Cause-
older and wiser now than I
Mhm.
was. And I will say that I thought I was ready to be in my own truck. I
Well,
think I don't think I was because I didn't understand. And I understood at the most basic. Okay, so this is what Robert Kaufman, what company are you with? He says, with our fuel charge, we only pay 98 cents a gallon. If you keep fuel mileage above 7 miles per gallon, I'm on the load board with Prime. Okay, so that's cool. And I wanted to get on the load board. They were just starting that when I was working, but I didn't. I think I needed to like get my fuel mileage to a better spot before they would do that for me. So you have to go slow. I don't know if you know this, but your fuel mileage is better the slower you go. You have to use cruise
yeah, yeah,
control.
yeah,
So doing that helps you make more money. There's all these little decisions that you don't realize add up to if you're going to make money or not. So like they might send you a load that you don't think is worth it, and then they tell you, well, we're going to send you this load. It doesn't look like it's worth it, but when you get there, you're going to get a better load. If you have the relationship with your dispatcher and you can trust them, do the shitty load and then go get the better load. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But you might have a dispatcher that lies to you and tells you, do this crappy load and I'll have a better load for you. But you end up doing the crappy load. You're going somewhere that doesn't have a lot of freight coming out of it, because you got to learn where the freight comes out of and where it goes into. Like that's something you'll learn as you're out on the road. You got to understand, you usually go into a city and you come out with probably like all of the loads that you're going to pick up are more in more rural areas. So you'll know, like, I'm going in here, but I'm going to probably have to drive 100 miles to pick up my next load or whatever.
yeah.
You get used to that. Oh, Robert Kaufman met me at the training pad at the Salt Lake terminal. I would love to hear that story. Type your memory of that. I kind of remember meeting you actually, and I was telling you about my channel. So anyway, I don't want to like go ramble too much, but I'm trying to like provide information. So it's hard to break it down, but you can make money. You just have to be business savvy. You have to understand how every little tiny choice you make of where you want to go, how fast you want to go, how many times you want to stop, all those choices add up to whether you're going to make money or not.
Right,
And I
right.
didn't have that mindset when I was leased. So I tried to, I thought I did, I didn't have the discipline. So I couldn't make a
So,
lot of money.
when you finish driving school, you was working with a company by driving their trucks. Are you coming with your trucks, with your own truck?
So when I worked for Prime, I went through their training program, and then my truck that I got once I went on my own, they have like a leasing department called
Oh,
Success Leasing. So it
yeah.
has the Prime logo on it. It's kind of their truck, but it's technically your truck. You're leasing it. You're paying at the end of the lease. You have the option to buy it. I don't know if they do that anymore because of the truck shortages. I heard that they might not do that right now. I'm not sure. Someone could correct me.
I think they
But
do.
when you also swapped your flatbed load, and oh wow, that's crazy. That's crazy too. Sorry, I'll get into that. But when I had the truck, it was technically mine, my responsibility. I had to pay the truck payments. I had to pay for the
Was it a
gas.
lot?
Huh?
Was it a lot? Was it a lot? The payment per month?
The truck payments are like, I think it was like for me $1,200 a week, but you make more than that. So you get 70% of the load. And the
Oh,
load when I was driving was anywhere from like 1,500 to 3,000 a load, depending on how many
wow.
days you're driving. So it comes out of your total money that you make. So that comes automatically out of the top. So your truck payment comes out, your fuel comes out, everything comes out, and then you get what's left over. Does that make sense?
Okay. And then yeah, but you gotta think about, like you said, get the fuel, it what's called it now, maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
If you need parts, go to the shop, labor work,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff add up. Insurance, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
So like I tell my wife, like for me, I'm gonna take my step. Like I'm gonna work for a company, and
Start with that.
I'm gonna save my money up, and then I'm gonna go slow. First I'm gonna save up um for the insurance. I'm gonna save up a little bit of money in my pocket, put it in the bank, and then when I feel like I have a lot of money, then I can take my time and do that and see it go.
It's good to have a cushion, but I mean, honestly, I'm not really sure how worth it is, but it might be worth it to you to start with a company, because with Prime, what was good was if I fell into like a red, they won't let you drown. Apparently, Prime is not doing lease purchase right now, but you can still buy used trucks through Pedigree. That's another thing through Prime. That's a whole Prime is like it's a whole empire of its own. It's crazy. They have all these little different things, but yeah. So I would recommend maybe leasing through a company, because they'll take care of you if you fail. They're not going to let you drown because they want you to make money. So they would front me money
Because
to stay afloat.
I know
Um,
I know a lot of truck drivers, they buy trucks from other people, but they say the best way is to buy it through the company, right?
I mean, it's not necessarily the best way. It depends on like your situation, like how much money you have on hand. I would say not even read, watch a lot of videos, do a lot of studying, listen to audiobooks about business, learn business, because you're not going to succeed. It's like you're running your own business. And if you can't not everybody can do it. And I think just based on the little that I know about you, I think you're smart enough, and you have the attention to detail that's required to be able to succeed. You just need the information, and you can't know until you've already had experience. So definitely start driving for a company, and then you have different options. You can go buy your own truck, or you can do it through a company. You're probably going to make less if you do it through a company than if you bought your own, but like
Oh yeah.
if you were an expert. But you also, doing it through a company, they still help you. So it's like, as a beginner, it might be good. You don't even have to buy it, really. You just lease it, and you can still run it like your own company, get used to that, and then buy your own truck once you get used to running someone else's truck as if it's your own, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I was talking to this person, and they told me that they see a 2015 Freightliner for like 25,000.
I would want to know what's wrong with it. But you can still probably make that money
It's
back,
cheap.
even
That's too
even
cheap.
if you start even if you start with a cheap truck. If you
Yeah.
can get enough miles out of it to make your money back, then screw it, right? Then if you walk away with 25 grand, what did you lose? Like,
Sure.
what?
But but for that price right there, you think it worth it?
Like I said, I wasn't the best as far as when it came to making money in trucking. I was had some good days and some bad days. I don't know how much of it was my fault and how much of it was that I just didn't get along with um, my dispatcher.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, if you're listening, sorry what I said earlier. You are right, I guess. We just didn't get along. Um, but yeah, so this is cool though. This guy, he met me on the training pad at the Salt Lake terminal for Prime, and then we met again. We swapped a flatbed load in St. Louis. Um, and then when right before we switched to reefer, it was really weird. It's like, yeah, you see the same people. I actually have a really cool story. There's this guy in Ontario, California. I was trying to back when I first went out on the truck by myself, and he was helping me back. And um, we ended up talking. He like chatted my ear off. He had a dog, I had a dog, blah 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 blah. And then I was kind of like, okay, and I like went into the back of the truck and closed the curtain because I was just done talking. I was tired. The like day, I don't know, like 2 or 3 days later, I was up in by the Grapevine, like on 99, I think it is, and I was at a random Loves or a TA or something, and I pulled in there and I was trying to back, and this guy comes out and
Yeah.
he's just like doing this thing, and I'm like, oh my god, why does this keep happening to me? Like, I know how to back, I don't need help. Like, guys always want to help you because you're a girl, and they want to like help you back into a spot, and I'm like, I know I look clumsy and stuff. I'm getting more flustered because you're standing there, not because like I suck.
You
you know
feel nervous.
I realized it was the same guy as the day before or whatever. I'm like, no way. We're like 300 miles away from where we met, or like 150 miles away from where we met, or whatever. I'm like, how the heck are you the same guy? And we ended up talking, and we used to like talk or whatever, because you make friends when you're out on the road and you got your little trucker headset. You get bored
Yeah.
when you're all by yourself, so you'll end up driving around talking to random people that you barely even know. And I have so many friends that I used
I,
to just drive around and talk to.
somebody
Yeah.
tell me a story one time. Say, um, don't go up and knock on a truck driver door, trying to ask him question. Heard that it's not good. Is that true?
Um, was it me that said that?
No, no, no. Somebody told me that.
Oh,
Like
um,
say you go to a truck stop and you need help or assistant or something.
I
You
would
knock on the
definitely
door
wait
and
until you.
like, hey,
Oh yeah.
can you help me please? Or I heard that
The only
they
reason,
huh?
yeah, if you don't see someone in the driver's seat, or you don't see someone like visibly like awake, the only reason I would knock on someone's door is if they're in your way.
So
Like
suppose so what about if you want to ask a question, like,
if
say,
you want
okay,
to ask a question,
say if I'm trying to do like to do backing, like
I would find
90
someone that's
degrees.
awake. I would find
Huh?
someone that you can
Oh
see.
wait,
Like if
okay, 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 okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
because you don't know if
I'm not
someone's
saying I'm do
sleeping.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not
But
saying
you
I'm
can
gonna do
ask.
it, but
Truckers are usually very helpful. They're very nice. Like there's a sense of community. It might not be like I think it's slowly getting worse and worse and worse, but for the most part, like they're very nice. Like if you see someone walking, or someone in the front of their truck watching you, and you
yeah.
can see that they're awake, like say, "Hey, do you think you can spot me real quick and make sure that I don't hit somebody?" Like don't if you don't see anybody in the truck and their curtain is closed or whatever, don't knock on the door because you don't know what they're
Okay.
doing back there. You don't want
No,
to disturb someone.
I was just putting it out there because I already know the answer. I'm just
Yeah.
putting it out,
Yep. Yep. I mean,
but
someone might be watching this, like you said, for the first time, who's thinking about going out there and they don't know anything, and this is very informative for them.
yeah, but
Um,
one thing they told me at school though is that if you trying to do a straight back or park in a spot or 90 degrees or do an offset or something like that, no matter how long it take your time, so
mhm,
I'm gonna use that advantage, because I'm not gonna rush or trying to prove to myself or to somebody that watching me like, yeah, I'm gonna go this way to go that way, and I'm gonna show
mhm.
them that I can part it,
Yep.
yeah, I'm gonna take my time because I don't want to hit nobody truck or anything like that.
It'll cost you money, and it'll ruin your paycheck that week if you want to show off, right? And you want to be like, "Oh, look, I can do it. I don't need
Turn,
help." Blah, blah, blah. And
turn left to
I've
go
had
right.
time. There's pressure though. I'm gonna warn you. If you're having a hard time backing, you're gonna get people lined up because sometimes people can't get in or out because you're blocking the only way in or out.
Yeah.
And you'll get like sweaty, you'll get shaky, it'll get harder and harder and harder to back because you can feel all eyes on me. Everybody's looking at me. At that point, usually someone will get out and help you because every
Yeah.
once in a while at least there's going to be one nice person in that group of people watching you.
I already feel that I already felt that in school when
Yeah.
I'm practicing my offset,
Hmm.
and all of my students in my class, they're not really saying anything, or they're just
Hmm.
looking, but in my
Yep.
mind I feel like they're like, yo, how long you been here, man? Still ain't get
Yeah.
it right. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what's in my
Yep.
mind, but other
Yep.
people do the same thing too. Like,
Yep.
I thought I was messing up. I'd be like, no, you're doing good. But
Yep.
in school, when you're practicing, it's like once you're in the truck, it's really hard to really see what's going on outside.
Absolutely. And
Yeah. So
um
that's when I use my get it and look.
oh yeah, this is a good point. So, well, we'll just say this. It is better to lease a new truck so that you have the warranty and everything. Um, Old trucks do require repairs. Frankie says Tell your trainer to teach you how to read the map really good, because you can't trust a GPS. GPS tried to take me on a low bridge in New Jersey. Once you get into those congested East Coast areas, sometimes you do end up in a weird spot. I had a Rand McNally GPS, and it usually didn't lead me wrong. But when I was in Maine, I think it was, I was in Maine, Eastport, which is like right by the coast. It's where it gets really congested. And I followed my GPS down this road, and all of a sudden there's a cop behind me, and I was new. And I'm like, oh no. And I kind of kept going till it was a very narrow road, and I wanted to kind of get out of there. And I I pulled over, and then they're like, you realize you were just on a weight restricted road? And I was like, I was. And they're like, that, like, it's a huge, you can get a pretty bad ticket for that. So I if there's any girls listening, it's shameless. It works. But if you like kind of cry, they usually like leave you alone. So I got really upset. I looked like I was about to cry. And then he just gave me like a little pink slip, and he said it was a warning. And I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing, but he didn't give me a ticket, but he told me it was a very serious offense. I was like, this is my first time getting in trouble, and I just got my safety award and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, all right. So he kind of like let me go, but you got to be careful. You got to read the signs, like always read the signs. I'm sure they taught you that in trucking school.
Yeah, they taught me that, and the clearance signs.
Yeah, and if you're not sure about a bridge, stop. It doesn't matter who's behind you. Don't go under the bridge, because you can, if somebody gets hurt, someone's driving over the bridge and they get hurt because you went under it, you're going to jail. It's a big deal. So
there's does all the bridge got the clearance number?
Oh yeah. If there's not a sign on the bridge, then it's probably not a low clearance bridge, unless you're on a road you should not be on. But I've never seen a low clearance bridge that does not have a sign on it.
I see a lot of video on YouTube, a lot of truck drivers just going around clearance.
It's crazy. I don't know how I don't think they were even paying attention. Atlas is a lifesaver, especially with construction detours. I've never had to use the Atlas, but I think you legally, I'm not sure actually. Do you have to legally have an Atlas on the truck? I'm not 100% sure. I had one because Prime made us get one, but
they told me to buy one at the truck stop.
Yeah, the new Rand McNally Atlas.
My instructor, when I saw him today, he was telling me that when I have my own rig, should buy he said like a kingpin lock at the truck stop. He said once you have that, no one can get in your truck, because some people just leave their stuff open, not open, without a lock. I just feel like, okay, I'm gonna be okay tomorrow. While they're sleeping, they don't know who can pop that seal, open up the trailer.
You always have to have a lock on. I mean, Prime, there's a running joke with Prime where like they actually, I'm not sure what the deal is. Are they paying people to rat people out that don't have a lock on their trailer? I'm in a Prime group on Facebook, and it's just the running joke about people leaving their trailer unlocked. Speaking of trailers, this is a picture that I took a long time ago, and I figured it was a nice background for this video. But that's a trailer. That's the inside of a trailer. But yeah, do you know about load locks yet?
No.
Load lock is a big long bar. So right here, you would put it like across the load so that it doesn't shift.
Oh yeah. I know about that. Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah. So for me, I had a lock for the trailer, but then there's also a little compartment behind the back of the truck, the bobtail. Bobtail. Is that what they call it? It's been so long. It's been 2 years since I've been out there. It's crazy. But there's I don't know, you lock the load locks in place so nobody can steal them. I've actually woken up in the middle of the night to someone like moving around on the back of my truck. Like people will steal stuff from you at the truck stops. It's crazy. So you just gotta be careful with that kind of stuff. Another thing too, for the ladies out there, well, yeah, cab works too, but I'm trying to think of like what the truck is. This guy. I'm trying to think of what it's called without the trailer. I think we called it bobtail. But so anyway, if you're a girl, and I guess if you're a guy too, because I've heard stories, but you can take your seatbelt and wrap it through the door hand.
I saw a video with that.
Yep.
Yeah, I always do my research. I always trying to learn something new, because when
Yep.
I'm out there, So I saw a guy told me that at night when you're sleeping, you wrap the seatbelt around
Mhm.
the door, the thing.
And when I did flatbed, sometimes I would take the straps, like
Yeah.
the ratchet straps, and just wrap those around the door handles, just so nobody can get in. Because sometimes what you don't realize is like, so each year truck campers are like this too. Like a Freightliner, let's say a 2020 Freightliner, I think there's like only 30 keys or something. Like, I'm not sure, something like that. There's only a certain amount of keys that they have. So if someone had all those keys, they can just go through every key on your truck if they wanted to mess with you and find the one that fit and
Oh
get right
yeah,
in your truck. Yeah,
they
it's
do that.
crazy. I
Damn.
think campers are like that too. It doesn't make any sense, but I guess like that's how it is. There's only so many, like each year there's only so many locks that they use.
Are
So
you, are you talking about the trailer, right?
the door of the truck.
Tractor. Okay, okay.
Yeah, the door of the cab. So the trailer, you're just gonna have to get like a. I have one.
So once I use the kingpin lock, that's secure, right?
The kingpin lock would be if you wanted to disconnect your truck from the trailer and drive away, which I've never left a trailer at a truck stop before. I don't think you're allowed to with Prime, but I just didn't want to be responsible for something happening. But
Okay, okay.
a kingpin lock
Okay.
will stop someone from getting up under your trailer and like driving
Oh,
away with it. So
okay.
that is for the fifth wheel, like the little that's the kingpin that goes into the fifth wheel behind your
Oh,
truck.
okay, okay,
So
okay.
you lock that so that someone can't come and take your trailer. Um, but the
Oh, you know
lock,
what? Yeah, I was thinking about something else, but
yeah,
that's why I said good to ask question. You know what I mean? Because I was
yeah,
thinking
definitely.
about the back of the, and I won't even say it.
I can show you. I can show you. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can make you on the screen. I'm not really sure how this works. No, I don't know how to use this. Whatever. I was gonna run away and go grab it, but it would be awkward right now if I just left you sitting here alone. But it's just like it looks like a padlock, but it's
On
like
the,
alloy steel. It's like strong.
on the next video.
Yeah, on the next video I'll show it.
Yeah.
I know exactly where it is too. Like I could like I'd have to leave though and go get it. But yeah, you get one of those. I actually left one on the back of a trailer once by accident when I went to a drop yard in California for Prime Fonda.
Yeah.
I want to go get it because I want to show you. It's really cool. Keep
I,
them entertained. Say something. Hold on one second. Let's see if I can figure out how to make you the person. I don't know if it's possible. Shit. I don't know how to do this. There you go. All right, hold on one second.
okay.
Tell them about what your day was like today getting ready.
On my day today, getting all my stuff packed. I've been packing for from last week, and the reason why I do that because I don't want to miss anything. I want to get stuff that I haven't get, and I want to keep on packing stuff. So if I forget something, then I can have that. So but I mean, this journey is new to me. I know tomorrow gonna be my day. So I'm like I'm in a good spirit right now. So for right now, I just can't wait to go there. I have a lot of confidence, so I know I'll be a good driver out there for my first day.
If you weren't done, I'll let you finish.
No, I'm done.
Okay, cool. So this thing weighs like I don't know, probably like possibly 5 pounds. I'm not really sure, maybe 3. But you see this? This is where they were trying to cut it because I left it on my trailer and they were trying to get it off for the next person. That's a rookie mistake. And this is the key. So the key is like really for these ones is really weird. This is what you could buy in the Prime store. And what's cool about it is that you can't take the key out while it's unlocked. So you can't. It comes with like several keys. It comes with 2 locks, one big one little one, and they
Oh,
all go. They all have the same key.
so
But
and those are for the back of the
that's to lock your trailer.
the
Nobody
door.
should be able to get through this without a lot of trouble. Says it's made with abloy, the Enforcer 341. That's what's called abloy. I think that's the kind of steel. This thing is like you could probably accidentally kill someone with this if you threw it at their head.
So I
Very
can
heavy.
get those at all the fuel stop, right?
You should be able to get something like that at a fuel stop. And I think when I bought it, I don't know about prices now, but when I bought it back in 2018, I got that and the little one for like $150. It's a serious lock. So this guy, I know you already covered this, but he wants to know, why did you choose to go trucking? And I guess maybe you can answer him in like a quick, summed up way.
Well, I didn't choose trucking. Trucking chose me.
I love it.
A lot of people in my path, they just start to talk to me and say, "Hey, I think you should try this. I think you'd be good at it." When I said, "Nah, I don't know," like I'm a C. But a lot of people um really see me driving a 26-foot box truck, and they feel like you're doing a good job. I even a backup, they like, "Yo, you do good. You should get the CDL." And then cause I used to work for a contractor, at Estes. So all the drivers that drive in tractor trailer, they always tell me, like I tell you, BB, big up BB again. Shout out to BB at Estes. He's the one that, you know, um, every day, hey, get the CDL, man. Like, I'm gonna give it a book. You give me the book and everything. You tell me the app to study the app, to study the book every day. You know, and I said, I don't know, I'm gonna see. I always trying to, like tell him, say yeah, but I end up didn't do anything, and until one day, this lady, um, she was trying to back into Target, and she said that I'm not good at backing. I'm not good at backing. So I helped her for an hour. She said, "You sound like you can drive it, but I know that you don't have no CDL, so I can't put you on the wheels." So I tell her what to do, and she back it up at the dock, and she said, "Hey, you know what? I think you'll be good in trucking. I think you should go ahead and get the CDL." So by she saying that to me, I did what she said, and and when I went to school, everybody was like, "I don't know if you're gonna pass it," but my instructor, the day when I was practicing, he told me that I asked him if I'm doing good. He said, "You're doing good. All the turns are good. He didn't install anything like that. You're doing good." So I said, "Okay then. So what next?" He said, "What next is that you're gonna be tested tomorrow, which was Thursday." And I said, "I'm not ready." And he said, "Hey, I gotta put you in there. I got no other way to really, I'm sorry, but tomorrow." So I was practicing Wednesday, but my test was Thursday. And like I said, I got to get myself in a good spirit. Go on YouTube, watch all the videos, pirate parking, all that stuff, offset and my pre-trip, all that stuff. And I did it the first time and I passed.
That's
And
amazing. I did too, actually. I passed on my first try, and
yeah,
I was I felt really proud of myself. But I think the only reason I was able to pass on my first try is because I was so OCD about making sure that I knew how to do everything.
yeah,
I was so scared I wasn't going to pass, and you gotta face so many fears to get into this industry. It when I went on the road the first time by myself, like I trained for months and months, like 8 months, I think I was with my trainer, because I wanted a team. I was still too scared to go out by myself. Um, and when I was out there by myself for the first time, I remember he parked next to me, next to my new truck, which was empty. and we transferred all my stuff into my new truck, that it was an older truck, but it was mine, and we transferred everything into my truck, and he parked next to me, and I parked next to him. It was just me and my dog in the truck for the first time alone. And he stayed overnight because he was like, he helped me and everything. He didn't leave until the morning. So he stayed in his truck next to me and I was in my truck. And once I realized I was alone, I cried like a baby. I like sat there and looked at my dog. I looked around at the big empty truck and I was like, oh my God, what have I done? This is terrifying, And I had already I drove across the country in a car before, all by myself. I did a lot of stuff by myself. I moved to California, but I was with a boyfriend at the time. So, I mean, I wasn't completely by myself, but when I drove home to see my grandma, I was by myself. So I thought I could do it. But once I realized after spending 8 months in the truck with him, and then he was parked next to me and I was in the truck by myself, and I realized tomorrow is a whole new world, I cried. I was like, I don't know if I'm doing, like, why am I here? What am I doing? I was so scared, but it felt so empowering. And it's changed me. Like, I feel so much more confident in myself than I ever did before that. And I was able to go out there and I did it all by myself for months and months and months, probably like a year almost by myself. I had to take a break when my mom got sick or whatever. And then I went back out there again. And it's like, I don't know, not a lot of people I meet, have ever experienced anything.
I know that's kind of hard because, losing your mother and, I know that you're close to her.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's kind of hard for you to focus on the road and, thinking of her at a time. I know it's rough because, on the road, you gotta be vigilant,
Yep.
you gotta stay focused. Like, you can't let nothing distract you. So for you, I know it was hard and, you do a good job, like when I first tell my wife about you, she's like, "Oh, she's young. She's driving trucks." She said, "That's good. That's good. That's a lot of responsibility." And I said, "Yeah, because a lot of female drivers, a lot of females now are going to trucking. I see nurse literally quit their job and say, "Hey, I'm going trucking."
Yeah, it was a big deal, and I will say, like, it shows you how powerful you really are, like how much you're capable of.
It challenge you. Yeah.
Yeah. And the only way for anybody to grow in this life is to be challenged. Like, a lot of people want to live in their comfort zone, and that's fine for some people, but they don't have a lot of life experience,
Right.
And I feel like sometimes, like, a lot of the people I moved to California and I lived in Missouri for a little while because of the terminal and Prime was there and everything. And then I came back here and I talked to people that have never left this area. They don't know anything. And it's hard for me to even understand that they don't know anything until they say something that I'm like, oh, wait, that's right. You've literally never seen a real mountain before. Like, people will tell me, oh, we got some pretty big mountains here in New York. And I'm like, actually, we don't. Like, you think we do because you've seen, it's the biggest mountain you've seen, but they're not big mountains. Like, it's like, it's weird when you realize the perspective of actually seeing the whole country. And people, once they realize, what, you drove a truck over the road, like, they can't even believe it when they talk to me. It's like, yeah, like, it's not even a big deal to me now, but it was at one point. So
it's really good though, because when I start to see a lot of females, I be like, yo, I can do that too.
Yeah.
Like, I start to be like, yeah, if she can do it, I know I can definitely do it.
That's how I felt when I saw those YouTubers too,
Yeah.
Shout out to Carla and you know who they are, the couple. Come here. My dog is moving my green screen. Come here, baby. Why are you doing this to me? Nick and Carla on YouTube. They got their I don't know if you've seen them, but they were doing YouTube videos for a long time. I don't know if they're trucking anymore. Solo part is what I love most. That is true. I love the solo part, and I actually like team driving. One thing you're going to learn, though, is it's scary to sleep in the back of the truck. Ooh, baby. It's scary to sleep in the back of the truck when there's someone driving.
I'm
but you'll
sorry,
get
my
used to it.
wife
Oh,
and
that's okay.
my son just.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi. But anyway, if you got to go soon, that's fine. We've been on here for like an hour already, so
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know.
no worries, no worries. We covered a lot of stuff, and I think this is good. And we'll check in again if you want.
Yeah.
We can keep going if you want to. That's cool. Either way.
I mean, for the guy, was asking me, why do I choose trucking? Like I said, it choose me. Like, people come in my path and they just say, hey, I think you'd be good at this. And at the time when I was doubting myself, they're like, no, it's just positive vibes. I didn't
Mhm.
gotta like try to say, I'm gonna try this out, I'm gonna do this. They're the one that influenced me to do it. So I know that it choose me, you know.
Mhm.
So it made my life more easier because it's something that I want. Because when I feel like it's for me, I'm gonna go for it. Like a lot of people thinking that, okay, I'm gonna try this, it look easy because they're in for the money. I'm in for the experience.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna worry
Good.
about the money after. Because if you don't have the experience, hey, you're gonna be lost out there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I think that's your heart is in the right place, and I think that you feel the same pull that I did. And it's funny when my trainer slash friend first told me, oh, you should come out and do trucking, I was like, ha. I laughed at him. I literally did. It was like I insulted him kind of without meaning to.
Yeah.
And then I started watching those YouTube videos and I saw people out there doing it, and it looked like fun. And I saw like they have their own little truck and they have like their fridge and their microwave and their own little space. And actually I slept better in the truck when I was by myself in the truck than I've ever slept in my life. It's like a little, you make it so
For
dark,
me, it'd
and
be
it's like a,
kind of weird, kind of weird,
yeah.
But I know that once I rise up in the morning and I look outside, I'll be like, I'm ready to go again, you know?
Yes, it's so awesome. It's such a
Yeah,
good feeling. And
yeah,
like I slept so good in that. Like you make it like a little dark cave and it's like your own little nest.
And
And
the bed, is the bed comfortable?
oh man, my bed was comfortable, but I bought an extra mattress at Prime.
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
try to find out what it is if you want and tell you what it was. I love my bed. It was like a memory foam thing that I got. Um, but I was comfy even before I got a nicer bed. It was my space. It felt so safe. And
Okay. And
and I don't know, it's just a good feeling to know it's yours. Even if it's a company truck, it's still your space.
yeah,
You
but
know.
when you're on truck, with no trainer by yourself and you're confident on the road, like
Mhm.
every morning's like breathtaking, like,
Mhm.
wake up in a different state,
Mhm.
every morning.
It's amazing. It's such a good
Yeah.
feeling. And I would say once you get to the point where you can, try to go out west because that is where it's at. I don't know if you've ever been out there, but
Well, tomorrow, he would tell me where we're going.
yep.
Because I asked him, hey, where we going? Once he said, I don't know, but when I pick you up tomorrow, and when we continue the video, I can tell you that journey,
Oh, I can't wait.
what I go through with my trainer and my first day by myself, on my own truck,
It's gonna be
what
crazy.
I do and I'm saying all that stuff, So um I would say by the next month, because I'm gonna do a month training.
Mm-hmm.
So after that month, then it's like I'm solo.
Let's check in. Let's check in when you get all moved into your new truck before you leave for the
Yeah,
first time, if we can. That'd be cool.
my can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
My laptop just shut down.
Oh,
It's
okay.
dying.
We might have to end it, but I can still hear you and I can still see you. So, um, oh, all right. Well, his laptop died, which is fine. So, anyway, guys, I really do appreciate you tuning in. Feel free to reach out if you are out on the road or you're thinking about getting on the road. You want to do my dog is licking herself and it sounds gross. Sorry. If you guys are thinking about getting out on the road, you want to do like a little podcast, you want to talk to me, you can find me on Instagram. Let me see if I can put my Instagram handle on here. I don't know if there's a way to do that. Oop, there it is. I didn't mean to do that, but I did it. I already had that already set up. So if you hit me up on Instagram, reach out to me. Sometimes I don't always answer my DMs because I don't see them. But if you want to do a podcast like this, reach out, leave a like, leave a comment so that the algorithms will see this, because I used to get a lot more views, but it's my fault because I haven't been very active on here, and the algorithms do not like YouTube channels that are not active. So give me a little boost by giving me a like. And yeah, I would love to talk to any of you guys that are watching this or will see this later. I'm going to post this on my channel, and that was a good first interview. So thank you guys for tuning in.